The thing that I was relieved to see it settle over was I do not want to see the standards for defamation cases changed. And the left was salivating to see Fox News go down on this. And if they hadn't, they would have run around saying, oh my God, if even this speech by Fox News was protected, promoting these election lies when behind the scenes we know the executives had doubts about it, then we have to change the defamation standards. We have to make it easier to sue people for defamation. And if you care about free speech, if you care about journalism and a free press, you don't want to see that. So it was very good. I think the case went away. I did not like it legally as much as everybody else did. I actually thought that Fox had a lot of grounds to argue that this wasn't a good case. Basically, they were trying to say, oh, for example, Megyn Kelly's executive producer knew it was all BS, but Megyn Kelly went on the air and she allowed the person to spew the BS. Well, somebody else's state of mind cannot be imputed to me. They had to prove that the anchors at issue, which to be clear did not include me, were like Maria Bartiromo, Lou Dobbs, that those people in their minds knew that it was a lie and told it anyway. I did not see the evidence of that. They did have evidence that the executives doubted the election lies being told by Trump's lawyers. I don't know how that's enough, but there was enough of a risk that it made sense to get rid of this case. It's not like, well, trust me, I went to NBC. The host is not free to say it over there. The host gets controlled. And you might say, oh, that's a great thing. You never have lies at NBC. Hello, Russiagate, Russiagate, Russiagate. Lies get through. Trust me. They're the ones who hired Michael Hayden after he signed that letter saying the Hunter Biden laptop was a bunch of baloney. So lies get through at NBC, notwithstanding corporate control. At Fox, they leave it up to the anchors. And while the producer can say, here's what the brain room, that's the fact-checking group within the company, or I, the executive producer, think, it's very rare that they would come to you and say, Rupert says you must say it as follows. In my 17 years there, that never happened once, not once. So I'm sure that it didn't get down to that level. The other thing about it that was very hard for Fox was the president of the United States was saying this stuff directly and through his lawyers. And I, as a journalist at the time, and you too, I'm sure, were in the position of having to say, how do we cover this? Dominion says it's all lies. There is no proof that any of it is true, but have I actually been able to kick the tires on every Dominion voting machine in every location throughout the states? No, I have not. So am I in a position to say this is all nonsense? I'm not. I, as a journalist, have an obligation to test the claims, to press, to offer my skepticism. But am I really in a position on this one to say everything you're saying is a bunch of BS? Not really. And that's what Dominion wanted. So they were asking for a lot from the Fox News reporters covering claims made by the president. This is one of the things that was disturbing to the executives at Fox. They were saying our audience is hearing these claims and our audience doesn't want us to be so dismissive of them. We need to telegraph to the audience that we hear them. Well, that does make some business sense, but it's also deeply troubling when the thing you're trying to telegraph to the audience is, we believe these same lies you're being told by the other channels. When they didn't, the Fox News executives did not believe the election lies. And we now know they were lies. In fact, that was one of the rulings by this trial court judge saying, Dominion, you don't even have to prove that what they were saying about you was a bunch of lies. We know that as a matter of fact. So Fox, I would argue, made the wrong decision. They should have leveled with their audience right from the get-go and said there's absolutely no proof of this. People like my old pal Brett Baer were advocating for that. But the executive team was very worried that the audience was already peeling off after Arizona was called early by Fox, and they wanted to shore up their base. I would argue to you that had Roger Ailes still been in charge of that network, a different decision would have been reached. I was there when Mitt Romney lost in 2012. Our audience left in droves. They left in droves. The ratings were in the basement. And they came back. Viewers go through moods. They go through cycles. They get mad at you. It's a personal relationship. It's not all rainbows and unicorns. Sometimes they're angry with you, but they come back. And what you need to be focused on as a news anchor is the trust, the long-term trust relationship with them, not whispering the sweet nothings in them on any given Friday so that they'll be your date that night.